Welcome back to another episode of Five Vibes Podcast, episode 16. We are joined by Gene. So Gene, thank you for tagging along on this episode. We are glad to have you back. Are you excited for this Paramount deal? I mean, I know that me and Devin have talked about our last episode, and we were pretty pumped. But yeah, we want to get your thoughts on it real quick.
Yeah, the fact that a whole year of Paramount wouldn't even buy like two UFC pay-per-views last year. Yeah, I'm pretty ecstatic. My only thing I'm worried about is like Dana White today came out and was like, if you're want to watch fights, we've got the whole UFC library on Paramount, which I don't think is true. I just don't want anything to happen to Fight Pass. So because Fight Pass is just such a great tool, but yeah, definitely hype to not pay over $1,000 a year to watch just UFC.
Yeah, I'm into that. That pricing stuff was getting out of hand. I mean,
Yeah.
like what the fuck, man? To your point, like a whole year of Paramount was like what, like $90, and then we were spending money on a pay per view along with an ESPN subscription. It was like, come on, dude. I'm surprised ESPN just didn't realize like how dumb of an idea that was, but greedy ass bastards. Anyways, so we do have a couple things to talk about.
Yep.
I am super pumped for some fights this year that have coming up. We've had some recent fight news. Adesanya is fighting Joe Pyfer. Let's see who else we've had. I know that we've had some fights already announced, like Strickland and Hernandez coming up. But we've had some pretty other decent ones pop off recently. Duplessis and Allen looks like it's in the works, which is another one.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one.
I guess
Actually, like that matchup.
the big news too, I guess, with Harrison being out in the co-main event against Amanda Nunes. What are y'all's thoughts on that? I mean, because that's a big blow to that card, honestly.
So this is gonna sound bad, but I just don't really care all that much, only because I mean we're starting the Paramount card and the whole deal with an interim title fight. Like, I mean, how much is the UFC actually invested in this? Which obviously they are, but I mean, you got to think back to when they signed with Fox. They had Cain Velasquez versus Junior Dos Santos, a free title fight. It was like a 1 hour show. It was a big deal. ESPN, we had the, TJ Dillashaw trying to get double champ status, moving down to flyweight to fight Henry Cejudo. I don't know. To me, it's just kind of like I want to see the fight, but at the same time, when I saw it, when I woke up the other day, I just was like, whatever. Like, it's not going to happen. So, and I'm a huge Kayla fan too. I think she's great. She's an awesome person, and also like Amanda Nunes, she's been retired. She's had one foot out for a long time. So,
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I don't. My only. I mean, I was excited for the fight just because I like watching Amanda Nunes fight, but I don't know, man. It's a neck injury to Kayla Harrison too. I don't know if it's like you had mentioned. It could be good timing for to pull out and then maybe fight on the White House card or something. But I don't know, man. Hopefully, it's not a serious neck injury, but neck injuries are never good.
Yeah, I'm curious how long she's going to take to recover from that, because I mean, she has to get, I don't know if she's already gotten surgery. Maybe she has, but I mean, I know the surgery was definitely required, and that already takes such a huge amount of time away from just
Yeah,
getting ready to recover from that. And so, yeah, it'll be interesting to kind of see her come back from that, but I don't know, maybe it evens out the fight a bit more, considering that Nunes hasn't fought, in quite a while, and with both of them kind of being, I don't know if it's going to make for a better fight, but I think it may be a more even fight.
I mean, it just gives me more confidence that Nunes will win. I think.
Yeah. It's definitely more possible, I feel like, now.
I still think that Nunes is going to get ragdolled. So,
You
Really?
think so? I don't.
I
See
just, somebody that got jabbed to death by Juliana Pena, like they're gonna
But
out grapple one of the best female, MMA fighters of all time.
yeah, but
Which I mean, Kayla's already up there in my opinion, but yeah, I think I'm very sick of this narrative that Amanda Nunes is the GOAT because, yeah, she did beat Chris Cyborg, but that was only because Chris Cyborg decided to have the worst game plan of all time and go into a firefight. Yeah, I just, at the end of the day, Amanda Nunes is not better than Chris Cyborg. She's not really better than anybody else. So I think the Kayla would win.
I can't agree with that. I think Amanda Nunes is the best women's MMA fighter of all time. I think she had a bad performance, yes, against Juliana Pena, but I mean, she was sick. There was a lot of other factors, and you saw how she came back. And I mean, she beat the shit out of Pena the second fight. And I mean, she was double champ. She cleared out a division. They almost got rid of the division. They had to pay.
I mean,
They had to pay Kayla Harrison to come over and try and save it and cut weight to get down to that weight.
I mean, everything that Nunes has done, Cyborg would have done, but better. I mean, do you really think that if Juliana Pena, do you think that Juliana Pena could jab Chris Cyborg to death? I mean, if Chris Cyborg fought Juliana Pena, she would have ended up like Max Holloway versus Justin Gaethje. Like, it's just.
Yeah, I guess like the thing too though is that did Cyborg ever really fight at 135? Because I guess like that's the thing too is that Amanda fought so many or only so many 45ers, including Cyborg herself obviously, and then with Cyborg always kind of sticking up with those higher weight classes and stuff. I think it's also just like a different level of competition or a different type of competition. Just like kind of we see in men's weight classes, like heavyweights kind of don't really compare to even just the welterweights, and I know that's a way bigger of a weight difference, but I mean,
Just
I don't
I
know.
don't think that's. I mean, Cyborg. Look, her record is amazing, and she's a good fighter. I don't think she's fought the level of competition that Amanda Nunes fought. Also, and Amanda Nunes has fought. She beat Valentina Shevchenko twice. I mean, she's gone through the ringer of former champs and everything else. Ronda Rousey. I think personally, I think Amanda Nunes is the best women's fighter of all time.
I would have to say that in terms of achievements for sure. I think like skill for skill wise, I still think like it would be Valentina. In my opinion.
Valentina's it, yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
for
like
sure.
achievement wise, like for sure, I feel like you kind of have to give it to Amanda. But
I still got the Cyborg, but I respect your guys' opinion.
No,
I mean, and 100%. Like I definitely agree that like Cyborg would destroy the same opponents that like Amanda would face, but it's also I feel like Cyborg was always just naturally a way bigger girl, so like that's in a way kind of like I guess for like I guess in a way like it's easy to say that she would destroy all those opponents just because of how big of a force like she is as a woman, and compared to Amanda where she was actually able to get down to 135 consistently, and face those opponents.
I wish Cyborg would have had a better relationship with Dana and been able to stay a little bit longer. And
that 100% agree.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
I mean, that 145 division could have stayed alive with her there, and then
Yeah.
it would have been kind of insane to kind of see them run it back. Because I mean, like what Gene said, like she did have a terrible game plan going into that fight, and
That dude, I don't mean to cut you off. I
No,
need
you're
to
good.
say this. I've been watching fights going on 18 years now. That's like a top 10 most fucking pissed off I'm like Cyborg, like what do you do? Like, and I remember when she got KO'd, she was slumped. I'm like, dude, Amanda Nunes is not better than her. Like,
Yeah.
and then she ends up losing to Amanda Nunes, and she can't stop a jab. And it's like that sequence where Juliana's just spamming jabs. It's just burned into my mind. I'm like this person's better than.
MMA math at its finest, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yep. You're right. You're 100% right.
Fucking love it. Oh man, that's funny. But yeah, it'll just be interesting to kind of see what, I guess, how that fight even goes, like once they rebook it and stuff. And then let's see, how do y'all feel about Izzy versus Pyfer? Because I was very surprised by that. Respect to Adesanya for, I guess, willing to fight someone who's barely in the rankings, but at the same time, I feel like that could be a solid matchup for him, just to go back to his easy ways and leg kick and stay at range and win that fight by a dominant decision.
I'm personally not a huge fan of the fight. On Izzy's side, like first off, the matchup doesn't make sense to me at all. I think it's a bad matchup for Israel, just stylistically. I mean, yeah, he could make it seem like or he could make it look like the Marvin Vettori fight, but I feel like Pyfer has better grappling. He's a big guy. I think he'll get Izzy down and hold him down and do what he wants. And Izzy slowed down a lot, so I think it's easier to get a hold of him. The fight just doesn't make sense to me, in my opinion. I would, at this stage in his career, I'd much rather see him in fun money fights with strikers or someone who will match his style and make it fun and exciting, not build up a name off of beating him like that.
Yeah.
Especially with this new Paramount deal, like you want your stars to be in big fights, um, and kind of build the name and make exciting fights at this stage in his career. Not so much have Pyfer come and wrestle him for 3 rounds or 5 rounds or whatever. It's a main event, right?
I don't know. I don't think it is.
So yeah, so if it's a 3 round fight, it's definitely going to be Pyfer trying to wrestle for 3 rounds, and then what?
The only thing I have against that is that I do think that Pyfer's ego does get the best of him a lot. And I'd imagine he'd be smart enough to realize that he can't necessarily strike with Izzy the way that he probably thinks he can. But at the same time, I wouldn't be that surprised if Pyfer was all like, Izzy just got knocked out. I could knock him out. Like I could easily see him saying some shit like that and then it costing him.
I mean, Izzy's lost 4 of his last 5. Like,
That's crazy to think about, honestly.
yeah, I know. And 3 of those were by some type of finish. 2 KOs, 1 sub. I don't know. I just don't like it in this stage of his career. I'd much rather the UFC put on exciting fights with him instead of using him to boost up Pyfer.
Yeah,
So I would say so what would those fights even be if he's not going to fight Joe Pyfer?
I don't know, man. Let me look at the division.
If you say Michael Venom Page, I'm gonna
No, hell no, because they would just cancel each other out, and it would look like a Derek Lewis Nagano fight.
All right, I can respect that. That's a ball no taking. You do know ball. All right, I swear.
Dude, that's like asking for that Wonder Boy and MVP fight. It's like I don't want to see that, dude. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
I think MVP is a garbage can and somebody that would like watch Bellator every Friday night. Like that guy, he's good, but like I don't even like know how to say it nice. He's just like he's good, but he's not good. Like
he's just an elite striker. Like there's no MMA game.
Yeah, like but if he's gonna fight a guy like Ian Gary, he's never gonna win.
Yeah.
Or a grappler. I mean, like so. Money fight wise, like I mean, there's not a lot to do with Izzy. And if you look at the rankings at middleweight, we've got Dricus. He's not going to fight Izzy again. Imavov is going to fight Hamzat. Sean Strickland has, not had any interest in a rematch, even though Izzy's been calling him out for months and months and months because I made so many videos about it. Hernandez is obviously going to fight Strickland. Brendan Allen is apparently might fight Dricus. And then it's like, you drop down at that point. We're 6th in the rankings with Israel. Kyle Barrio is going to fight DeRitter. And then there's Whitaker. I mean, they're not going to do a third fight with Izzy. Cannonier, he's obviously already beat him. Michael Page, that would be the worst fight ever. Delidze, I mean, that guy's a garbage can. Costa, I've actually campaigned for that, but Costa's, getting punished and fighting Mirzanikov. I mean, the Pyfer thing to me kind of makes sense because a couple weeks ago he said that he wanted fun fights and he wants to try things like, when he was on his title run. I like this for Izzy because I mean, like I said, like what else is there for him to do? Like, there really isn't.
At these rankings, there's not a whole lot that he can do, to be honest.
I mean, moving to light heavyweight and like KOing like 10 of the top 15 probably, but he doesn't want to do that, obviously.
If he would, I think
Gas
when
in
he
the
tried
tank.
to move up, if he would have put on weight, he would have had a better shot. He tried to stay smaller, which made sense because he wanted to come back down anyway. But
I
I don't
will
know.
also. I forgot what my point was. Um,
No, I think a move to light heavyweight
oh,
at this stage in his career might be good for him, to be honest.
okay, yes, I remember now. Yes, I would love to see him fight Yuri because I want to watch the world burn. But at the same time, if you look at the rankings here, like the UFC loves Joe Pyfer for whatever reason. And this is a good way to find out, is Izzy washed? Is Izzy actually done? Because his losses, dude, he was so close to beating Dricus and he was so close to getting the title back. It's like, it's a win-win for the UFC in the sense that, oh yeah, like Izzy can come out, get the win, maybe go on like that one last run type deal. And like I said, for whatever reason, they love Joe Pyfer. So if Joe Pyfer wins, that's a guy that they can elevate. You know, he would jump up to, sixth in the rankings, which usually when guys win or lose, they swap ranking spots. But yeah, I mean, I like it. I think it's really kind of a fun thing when you think about it.
Yeah, I'm 100% with Gene on that one. I do think that like it's a good test to kind of see just where Izzy is because, I mean, again, it's not like Imavov is a slow guy and like Izzy's that much slower nowadays. To where he just gets caught with like anything. So, and Joe has some speed on him, man. I mean, he could catch Izzy with something pretty good, but
Yeah, that's what I'm
it's
saying.
tough,
He would.
man. I don't know.
I think
I think it's a close fight, but especially just with how Izzy has looked lately. But again, I think his best way to go is just going to be to leg kick and just stay on the outside as much as he can. But I mean, Joe just may be saying fuck it and bringing it.
I will also say I don't have enough time to watch tape like I used to, but I think Joe is a guy matchup wise for Izzy that he'll be able to exploit the counters for sure.
Yeah,
And if
and
he can't, then he should retire, obviously.
this could. I mean, this could very well be a good spot for him to get that another win in his column and look good.
I just wonder what happens if
So-
Izzy wins because like if Izzy wins, then like okay, what do you do with him next? Do you have him fight, up that quickly, or do you have him like really make him earn it again? I mean, because he's already fought for the title rematches, like get his belt back twice already. So it's like, okay, you have him go against Hamzat. I mean, Hamzat's gonna fucking ragdoll him. Like that's not gonna be fun to watch.
yeah,
I mean, hypothetically, Islam beats Imavov, and I think Fluffy beats Strickland, and then hypothetically, it's tough. I mean, I think you would probably put him against the winner if it does get booked, Brendan Allen and Drickus.
Hmm.
I guess. I don't know.
I guess
Or
just
even
like with a
Kaio
fresh,
versus
yeah, a fresh like matchup or something like that, rather than doing
yeah,
another
or
rematch.
yeah, or even Kaio versus RDR because I mean those two are grapplers and Izzy could maybe get some stuff off. If
Izzy
he were
versus
to
RDR would be weird. That's a weird sounding fight.
yeah. That is a weird one, but I think it would be fun to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, RDR would try and grapple, but if Izzy could get him off, I think it'd be fun
Well,
just to see.
yeah, because it's like how sloppy is RDR gonna like enter into those clinches because he can't just enter them the way that he's been entering like everyone else. He's gonna get sniped down. Like I don't know.
I think Izzy would nuke RDR because you can't just like come
Yeah.
at Izzy on a straight line with your high knee and like grab the weight. Like I really don't think Izzy is washed, but I mean, like I said, we're gonna have to see. I really like the Piper fight.
Yeah.
Just to circle back.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. I think, and again, after hearing the rankings, it's just like there really is no one else, anyways, um, that isn't already booked or isn't a rematch again. But yeah,
I
it's
would have loved, like I said, I would have loved to have seen the Costa rematch. That would have been so fun, in my opinion.
yeah,
Because Costa looked so good last time out.
he really did, dude. I'm really curious how like this fight even came about because, I guess Costa went up to light heavyweight for missing weight against Marvin Vittori, and then Dude, shout out to Marvin Vettori, honestly, for still taking that fight. Like, what a dog. But, yeah, dude. Him versus Mirzakhanov, like, what the hell? Where did that come from? I'm surprised he's even getting that high ranked of an opponent in light heavyweight.
To me, it feels like a punishment for Costa because like he's pulled out so much. I think he has more pullouts than fights since the Israel loss, which I would have to double check. He's either got more or it's very close. It's
I
basically the
would
same.
100% believe if it's more.
And the thing is like, yeah, it's Vittori. A lot of people don't like him. He is definitely a Chad for taking that fight because Bo Nickel wouldn't even wrestle Yoel Romero 7 pounds over, dude. I just had to get my Bo Nickel hate in. I can't
Dude, yeah.
stand that, dude.
Yeah, I was pretty disappointed he didn't wrestle Romero. I was looking forward to that, but at the same time, it's like,
And then
Romero.
he got yeah, and then he got freaking 10-0'd or tech vault or whatever the hell it is. I'm not a big wrestling fan. I want to be. It's because dude, RAF is killing it. But
Yeah.
I do like the matchup though. It's striker versus striker. Somebody's probably going to get a finish. So great.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Well, speaking of fights that were announced, what are some fights that you would like to see announced this year? Because I definitely have a few, but I want to hear from y'all first to kind of just see what y'all say.
But I want to see get booked.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'll let you lead it off, Gene, because I don't know, man. I feel like there's a lot of weird matchups happening right now as it is.
So I swear the last time I looked at the rankings, Mike Malott was ranked. I really want to see Mike Malott versus Joel Alvarez because Joel Alvarez would pretty much make Mike Malott wish that he wasn't alive.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then at some point, this isn't an exact prediction or a want, but I want to see Kyoji Horiguchi fight Josh Van or Alessandro Pantoja. This is also kind of random. I also kind of love the idea of Steve Garcia fighting Max Holloway.
Ooh.
Steve Garcia has called out Max Holloway. I love Max Holloway. I think that would be bad for his health. But at the same time, just absolute banger of a fight. I would also say a lot would have to happen, but I would love to see Paddy Pimblett versus Dan Hooker. I don't think that Paddy Pimblett is going to beat Justin Gaethje. And these two have been going at each other this week because Paddy ran his mouth and then got mad when Dan responded. And yeah, I would like to see those fights.
Yeah, Paddy and Hooker would be cool. I definitely agree with that one. I definitely want to see Aspinall and Gone too. We need to see the kind of conclusion of that. Hopefully Aspinall comes back the same. Yeah. I guess that's kind of a big thing. And then I still want to see O'Malley versus Sanhagen at some point. I think
yes. I wanted to say that, but I don't think it makes sense. I don't think it would happen. I've made like 3 videos about that fight. It would be so awesome.
It'd be great, but yeah, I'm with you. It's just kind of like I think with kind of the things O'Malley has been saying lately, anyways. I really don't think we're ever going to see it, unfortunately. Even though I honestly think that would be more than likely one of the best bantamweight fights we'd ever see, especially striking wise. But yeah, I mean, just what a matchup. I do want to see JDM versus Prades though. I think that could be a banger.
You're saying JDM? I want to see Shavkat get in there with someone this year, and I was thinking Prades or
him and Prades would be fun, dude. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, dude, that would be a fucking. It would be. I
think that would be easy for Shavkat. I think Morales is the actual. I think Morales is the actual dude at welterweight.
Yeah, he's scary for sure. But who do I want to see him with? That's my thing.
I think him and Shavkat would be fun
Gary
for sure. But I think the thing with Prades that would help him out in the Shavkat match is that he's gone up against somebody his size like Ian Gary, And he said he learned a lot from that fight, and I think we definitely saw that in the fights after that. But I think he could definitely have a better game plan going to somebody with that size. I guess the only thing is that Shafkat's grappling is just on a different level. Um, but I don't know. I mean, that'd be a really fun striking matchup to see. Shafkat and Pradas would be whew, sign me up.
Yeah, it'd be. I think that fight would be fun. I just want to see Shavkat get back in there, man. It's been too long.
Yeah.
I thought there was a time where I was like, this dude's definitely going to be champ of this division, and then injuries started happening, and then the division just got stacked. So
Thank God it did.
I know
Islam was like, hold my beer.
Yeah, no
it kind of
shit.
came out of nowhere though, because it was like lightweight used to be like the division, and then now welterweight is kind of taking that away.
So there's a couple more I want to talk about. A fight I really want to see, and it's not going to happen, and it pisses me off so bad. I want to see Bilal fight Kamaru so bad.
Oh
Yeah,
yes,
It's
dude, I've been
it would
saying that.
it
I've
would
been
be
saying
such
that.
a great like all-time old guy fight. Like, and they've got history, they've got beef. Apparently, Bilal slapped Kamaru on a podcast.
like, what the fuck, man? Like, release the footage.
Yeah, dude, for real though. And like people hate Bilal, and I just like I don't get why. The guy's always in exciting fights, and they call him boring, and it just pisses me off, man. Like I don't get it.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Uh,
Also too, also too, I hate John Jones, but and
No,
he should
no,
not be
no.
rewarded. The Pereira fight, man, like I really think that Pereira could KO him.
dude, it'd be really interesting to see because Pereira still has that speed with him. It's not like he's really slowing down at all. And
It's dude, it's not like fighting Stipe, that's for fucking
yeah,
sure.
amen to that, dude. I mean, because John looked slow in that Stipe fight, and I feel like that's why there's been some hesitation. I think to put that fight together was because I mean, if John gets knocked out by Pereira, like how the hell are people gonna look at him then? I if I'm John, I'm saying I'm sitting on my couch for the rest of my days. I'm not fucking with that shit. And I'd love to see it though. I'd love to see it. It'd be
Yeah,
really interesting to kind of see if John can even get it to the ground. But I think one calf kick alone is just gonna be like he's gonna be like fuck this.
Dude, in a weird way, it's like Tom is more dangerous with the speed, but in a way, it's like I feel like John could exploit that. Whereas with Alex, he's gonna be more calculated,
Mhm.
and it's like Alex isn't gonna be like shooting in like super fast or like throwing hooks. I don't know. I feel like Alex might actually be more of a dangerous fight. I don't know. I don't really think John wins either of them because it's hard to watch that Stipe fight that was, 14 months ago
Yeah.
and think that he's gonna do really anything. Also, too, not a there. The champion might change, but I'd love to see Tatiana get another title shot at strawweight because Mackenzie Dern is an absolute trash can, and she should not be a UFC champion.
I think her and Dern would be a lot of fun. 100%. I think Whaley's gonna come back to that division. Sorry, excuse me. I think Whaley's going to come back to that division this year, and I think she's going to take over again. But I would really like to see Tatiana versus Dern. That'd be a fun grappling matchup.
I want to.
I
I
mean,
want to. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
oh no, no, you're good. I it would be good in the sense that my Tatiana, who I'm a fan of, would win, but I think Mackenzie would start up the lights for 25 minutes.
I could see that.
She's I she's I've been watching her career since she was in LFA, and she's this world-class BJJ artist, and she still can't figure out how to close the distance. Her striking is horrible.
That Andrade fight was something
Um,
else, man.
I I want to like women's I want to like women's MMA, but the talent pool is just she's Mackenzie Dern is like a bottom five, like top five, whatever, worst UFC champion of all time. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Devin?
Oh no. I lost my train of thought. To be honest, I was gonna say something about that, but lost my train of thought.
I do have one more fight on my wish list. Tell me what y'all feel about this. Hooker versus Ruffy.
That would be a fun matchup, I think, just stylistically. And I think it would give Ruffy a chance to get his name back up into the top 10.
Yeah, because who's he fighting next?
Uh,
I know
let
Ruffy's booked, right?
me see. I don't know. He's not.
He's
I
not?
don't think
Okay.
so.
I think it was BSD that
I
I'm
don't think
thinking
so.
of.
Let me see.
Because I know BSD's booked for that Perth card.
I guess too.
He's fighting Zeev.
BSD? Oh, no, Ruffy is, right.
Zeev. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
that's a banger.
that's a
Holy,
good
I
one,
That's a
forgot about
fun
too.
that
fight.
Yeah,
one.
That's a
fuck
fun
that
fucking
Hooker fight. I'm
fight.
good then. That's going
Yeah.
to be
Never mind.
crazy.
That's a good one. No, I want to see Lerone Murphy get his crack at the fucking title this
Yeah,
year.
I'm with
I
you on
don't
that,
care.
dude. I'm really ready for featherweight to start kind of giving these contenders like their deserved spots. I think if Loyev still needs to fight just because of all of his pullouts and shit, but Murphy's for sure deserved it over Lopez.
Yeah, I don't care if it's against Lopez or Volkanovski. I think at this point he deserves it more than Evloev. I think Evloev's pulled out of too many fights. He's always injured. Yeah, he's undefeated, but who cares at this point? Like, when's the last time he's fought? Who's he fought?
His last one was like what, Aljo?
Yeah,
That was
and
a fun fight.
It
yeah,
was great.
but look at all his. Yes, he's undefeated, but he's not the most exciting guy. He's winning by decision. He's just holding guys for 3
Step
rounds.
from the
Should've lost to
crotch.
Allen.
You got a guy like Lerone Murphy who's, I mean, coming in. He's also undefeated, and he's winning fights excitingly. With spinning elbows should have got him in there. Get it? It was against
Rip Aaron
Pico,
Pico.
but
Yeah, no shit.
I don't know, man.
I thought of another one I really want to see, and it pisses dude. Don't even get me started. I want to see Diego Lopez versus Yair Rodriguez so bad.
Oh yes,
But
yes.
Yair Rodriguez is just the absolute worst,
Mm.
and we probably never will.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be a really fun one, especially with that history there. Who would y'all pick in that right now?
I hate Yair, so I
Diego.
would absolutely take Diego. I think Diego would probably put him out.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because
Because I think Yair just leaves his chin up too much for someone like Diego not to hit him.
he doesn't have the intangibles of like, and it sounds dumb, but like he doesn't have that dog in him.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
I can agree with that.
Yeah, I feel like Lopez he's down to for the hard fights. He's down to go scrap, and
That Silva fight
I
really
think
proved
Yair.
that.
I think Yair he likes to get flashy and work from the outside and do all that, but once things get a little difficult, he's like, oh, okay. But
Yeah.
he's fun, and he has some crazy. He brings some crazy like stuff to the fight that makes it exciting, but I would like Lopez in that fight personally.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. So speaking of, I guess, a new era with Paramount and all that good stuff. I know this is our last week actually before we even start our first fight week with Paramount. But how do you, or not how do y'all feel? What the hell? What was y'all's favorite ESPN fight? I know that Devin, that was a great thing to kind of ask us because I was super pumped to talk about that. But since it was your question, Devin, what was your favorite ESPN era fight?
Yeah, man. So I mean, it's gonna be super basic. It's probably the biggest selling. I think it is the biggest selling UFC pay per view. But it was watching Conor get beat by Khabib. I think it was just it just brings a memory to me because I mean I was in the army at the time and it was me and all my boys in the barracks watching it and watching Conor get beat like he's never been beat before, and then Pakistan any stage and shit gets crazy, and then ESPN freaks out and just shuts off the cameras. I think that shit was iconic.
That's a solid pick, honestly. Like what a moment.
It was. I feel like it was a big moment in history, and just I don't know, man, because you hadn't seen Connor be beat like that ever, and for him to get beat, just the beef that they had, because it was real. The lead up to that, all the shit going on, the dolly, the shit talking, Habib's beating him up and talking shit. I just think it was. I don't know. That was a fight. Like that wasn't. That wasn't like a UFC, match. That was a fight.
Yeah, I was like, I'm there to prove something.
Yeah.
Gene?
So there's three that stick out in my mind. Obviously, the Max Holloway versus Justin Gaethje knockout. That moment in sports is just something I will chase the dragon for the rest of my life on.
Yeah, for sure.
Great moment. Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway 2. I just it's that was a card between the Izzy fight with Kelvin. Just so magical, made me realize how much I actually love this sport. But to me, the best ESPN era fight would have to be when Max Holloway put an absolute beatdown on Calvin Kattar.
Yeah, dude.
Because there was so many people, so many people on Twitter at the time saying Calvin was going to do good. Max is washed, all this stuff. And Max came out and just, and I still think to this day, it's what, 5 years later, that even if Volkanovski was in the cage that night, Max was not losing. He was so angry and pissed off and, set records that night. Yeah, I put that fight on all the time for ambiance, just to watch it. Great fight. So
yeah, what a beatdown that was, dude. The whole I'm the best boxer in the UFC moment, dude. Like that's a top 3 moment in the UFC, like without a doubt. There's no way it's not up there. And oh man, Max had given us some solid fights over this ESPN era, like easily one of the more entertaining fighters of the whole era. But I definitely had a couple. I have like 6 written down. I had originally, yeah, I was kind of narrowing it down, but O'Malley versus Jan, I thought was just a great fight. I kind of tied that with like the Sandhagen fight as well between him and Jan. I think just watching those two go at it with striking, or those 3, I guess, go at it with striking is just unbelievable. The DC and Stipe 2 fight, I thought that was like a really cool comeback to see kind of Stipe pull that off and win his belt back. But I honestly think my ultimate favorite throughout this whole ESPN era was Usman and Colby 1. I was so hyped going into that fight, and then just for the fight to turn out that way, it was just the fucking cherry on top. I mean, the promos were great, the whole build up.
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Oh yeah, there you are. Are you muted again? David?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, there you are.
All right. Yep. I don't know what happened with my computer. It just like froze.
No worries, all good.
Missed all of that.
No, you're good. So, what'd you hear?
Last thing I heard is you were talking about how Max put on a bunch of shows and then it just froze.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I was just saying that Max was probably one of the more entertaining fighters of the whole ESPN era, just with the amount of fights that he put on and then just some of the performances he had. But I was narrowing down my favorite ESPN era fights, and I kind of tied O'Malley and Jan with Sandhagen and Jan. I thought those were some of my more favorite like striking matches that we saw. And then DC and Stipe 2. Oh, I fucking did that shit again. DC and Stipe 2, just that comeback that Stipe had was just fucking awesome to see. Don't really see a whole lot of comebacks like that. And then my ultimate favorite though was Usman and Colby 1. I think just the build up for it, the fight itself was just top notch, man. I go back and rewatch that fight every now and then. It was just solid. But It was funny that you brought up Poirier and Holloway too, because I also had put Gastelum and Adesanya on here, and because
Yeah.
what a fucking fight that was too, dude.
It was just that iconic moment too from Izzy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm prepared to die. Like, come on.
Like, damn.
I know. There
Fucking
was,
Gastelum, man. I almost had that shit.
I mean, ESPN, the era of ESPN, like, yeah, we hated ESPN and the price gouging that they did and everything, but man, there were some fucking fights that they had. Like, I mean, even during COVID Fight Island, when Ferguson's career pretty much ended with Gaethje putting on the worst beatdown I've ever seen, and there was no crowd, and you could hear every single bit of it.
Yeah, props to. I will never not give props to the UFC for fucking holding down the sports world for that shit. That
No.
was fucking legendary shit. Oh, fucking love it.
And then I'll say my favorite moment from UFC from ESPN era is when Leon head kicked Usman. That shit
Dude, what a comeback that was.
was nuts, dude. That was
Yeah,
that was insane.
what a comeback that was. I think definitely like one of my favorite moments was Usman knocking out Masvidal. That knockout was
Yeah,
fucking
dude.
picture perfect. I love it. That was
Sweat
really
flying,
good.
dude. Oh
Yeah, the
man.
pictures from that were just chef's kiss. Absolutely love it.
Especially because everyone thought that he was just gonna wrestle Masvidal because that I mean obviously that's his weakness, and he came out and was like, "Nah, I'm gonna put him out."
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, fucking love it. So real quick, I did have a question for y'all about fighter pay. Now, in the past we had UFC champs and all them kind of get pay-per-view points for the amount of pay-per-views that they would sell. So how do y'all think that this is going to work now with the Paramount deal not being pay-per-views, just the monthly subscriptions or the yearly subscriptions? And do you think that the UFC may allow their fighters to get more advertisement stuff, or endorsement deals, going kind of like what they used to? Or do you think it's going to be kind of just all up to the UFC on how much they're going to be paying them?
I feel like it's gonna be a mixture of both, to be honest. I mean, they're gonna have to let them advertise. That's the only way they're gonna make up for pay-per-view points, unless Paramount. We know what Paramount's paying, but I don't know. Is it enough to cover these fighters' salary, especially what they were paying them before?
Yeah.
Because now the fighters kind of have power to negotiate their salary versus pay-per-view points, and it being a selling point for that. Because that's what the UFC used to do, is like, oh yeah, we'll give you this base salary, and then whatever you make off the pay-per-view, if you can sell it, that'll be what you get. But now it's just all up to the fighters and UFC to figure that out. I don't know. I feel like the fighters are going to get paid less, which is shitty because it's already pretty low, unless you're top notch.
Yeah, I mean, the UFC just has so much shit going on too. I mean, with UFC BJJ now, then just with all the shit that they do on Fight Pass alone and all their under promotions.
Personally, I think that the lower tier fighters who are getting the 8-8, 12-12 are going to benefit. I think they'll make more as a base salary. I think it's the champions who are making multi-millions and whatnot who are really going to feel the difference.
I I don't think that anything's really going to change. I think that the UFC and Endeavor are going to keep every possible dollar they can.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of like endorsements, like, letting the fighters have more endorsements, what does that even mean? It's not like they're going to come out with, shorts like they used to with Condom Depot and Zions and all that stuff. Like,
Dude, I wish.
the UFC and Endeavor, they don't really care about, the fighter. They care about the bottom dollar, and the bottom dollar is going to be just Dana White says, in regards to fighter pay, how's the fighter pay going to do? And he's like, oh, well, it's going to be good. It's like, okay, dude, like, just say it's not going to go up.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck? What kind of corporate answer is that? Like, come on, dude. What are we doing?
also, unrelated but related. when he was asked, I don't know if you guys saw this, when he was asked about, Lopez versus Volkanovski, if you don't like it, don't watch it. And it's just like,
Dude, he's so out of touch.
Why are you the guy for this anymore?
Yeah.
Give it to Daniel Cormier.
Yeah.
Make him be the president. I know people don't like DC because of the commentary. I'm not a huge fan of DC on commentary, but as a promoter, DC would be great.
Yeah, he gets it. I mean, and with how involved he still is and everything, like, there's no reason why he wouldn't be the guy for that job. Because I don't want, at this rate, I don't want Hunter Campbell. I don't want Mick Maynard. I don't want Sean Shelby. I don't want any of those guys being where Dana White is, because it's just gonna be a carbon copy of Dana at this point, and not in the good way. It's just gonna be this whole thing of like, well, if you don't fucking like it, don't watch it. It's like, all right, bitch, like you have to think about what your fans want, not what you guys think is just gonna be great for y'all to watch. Because I understand that fight is like Volk versus Lopez is definitely gonna sell more than Volk versus Murphy. I get that 100%. But the issue is that you guys pride yourselves, or y'all used to at least, on the real contenders fighting, no matter who it was, no matter what the reason was. You always give that number one contender a shot to fight for the title. And now that's just gone, man. I mean, we've seen it in the past couple of years. I know this is definitely kind of beating a dead horse, but like, it's just a popularity contest, and see who can get the most viral moments, and let's see how much we can capitalize on those viral moments, and let's see how much of it makes sense to give these viral moment fighters, a big spot in the show. It's just annoying at this point. And again, it's just like, give us real contenders, please. Like, we're all most of us are begging for it, I feel like, and it's just being ignored like right to our face.
Yeah. Yep.
Like Dana said, if you don't like it, don't watch it. So.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem though.
I'll just fuck
I feel
off
like
then.
he really just doesn't give a shit anymore, which is sad because, like, yeah, he's the president, but I mean, people can hate on MMA guru and shit, like say he's fucking stupid and all that stuff. But when his points about Dana, I completely agree with. Like, you're not just the president; you're supposed to be the promoter
Yeah.
of this organization. You've done a lot for the organization, but as long as you're still in that role, you need to care about it and push the organization and try and make it better. And like I brought up before, these fucking fight announcements, he's doing it on a fucking, I don't even know what
toaster.
Shitty ass computer he's doing, and he's not even doing it live anymore. And he just doesn't seem interested. He used to do like the "if you don't know now you know" thing and like get into it, and now it's like, hey, yeah, these are the fights.
Yeah, I really hope.
Okay,
like,
are you gonna act excited about it?
Yeah, I mean, I just hope Paramount like takes over with some of the promoting and stuff like that, because again, I know I've said this numerous times. I just think that the UFC depends on these fighters so much now to create their own viral moments, and just even outside of fighting, you know what I mean? Like, for them to go on streams, like Armand, going on all those streams recently, going on these podcasts with Joe Rogan and stuff like that, getting hyped for a fight and stuff. There's not a UFC push like there used to be, and it's such a shame, because they used to be such a powerhouse in promoting, and now it's just gone completely dark. And again, just depending on all the fighters just to do it for them.
Yeah, I don't know. It's ESPN and Dana were both like really bad about promoting, and like you said, I hope Paramount steps it up. But how much reach can Paramount have besides the subscribers on their network? Or,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe do more on social media. Something, dude. Something.
Yeah.
It can't just be on the fighters and having the fighters go on podcasts or go on these fucking stupid ass streams, like fucking everyone getting on these stupid streamers platforms just so they get some name recognition, so they get fans and get into fights. Going and talking to these dudes on like the Full Send podcast or with fucking whoever on these stupid streams. This shit is getting insanely dumb.
I mean, there was a time when, if Dana were to book Lopez versus Volkanovski, even though they just fought last, 9 months ago?
Yeah.
he would tell you passionately why this should happen and all this stuff, and now he's like, well, if you don't like it, don't watch it. It's clear the passion is not there. And
Yeah.
obviously, it was mentioned earlier. The UFC is a content mill, and it's all about the viral moments. But at the same time, they don't really want to promote that. They rely on guys to go on podcasts that nobody watches, and then don't do anything with that.
That's what I'm saying.
And it was great when the UFC was doing stuff through the pandemic. But at the same time, that's what truly kind of killed the brand, and that's what they do. They skate by on the brand, like, oh well, there's no sports going on, and UFC, and then they're fucking headlining a card with Jessica I and
Yeah.
whoever
The
else.
fuck? Yeah.
It's like we're the term casual gets thrown around. It's like I've watched long enough to know that when I'm watching good MMA and bad MMA, and they're just they just you see the UFC brand. It's supposed to be like the NFL, but the problem with the NFL is the product, even when it comes to the bad teams, is still pretty good. Where with the UFC, it's just not. So
There's no consistency. I feel like that's the biggest thing is that kills them. The NFL has that promotion schedule locked down. They know when they're running ads. They know when they're doing all this shit. And I guess like that's also just an issue. You can plan out a whole year for the NFL. You can't necessarily plan out a whole year for the UFC. And I get like that's a challenge and stuff like that. But at the same time, maybe you just book these fucking fights far enough in advance to where you have time to promote them and shit, rather than
so
building up a card that's a month away and you're still putting fights together for it. It's like, what the fuck?
I saw a Jack Slack tweet earlier about how everybody's year-end awards, had nothing to do with like the first 5 to 6 months of the UFC schedule, and that's how it's shaping up this year. We have cards, but a lot of it just doesn't look super memorable. And this is a whole different topic, but like they won't book the big fights. They won't book Ilya versus Islam Makhachev. They won't book John Jones versus Tom Aspinall. It's just kind of like, oh well, we tried, and it's just kind of turning into boxing in a way to where like, Ilya's going to come back and fight Patty or Justin when it should be Armin. And I don't like Armin, and I've made a million videos to why he's an idiot and deserves what he gets. But it's just, it's not about fighting the best anymore. The best fighting the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah. It's just nasty.
It's not even. Yeah. It's not even like you said, the best fighting the best, the contenders or the deserving fighters. Or even at this point, it's not even who the fans want to see in there. It's just whoever the UFC deems he needs to be, or whoever's on Dana's good side at that point, or who has scratched his back enough to get in there.
Yeah. I mean, it's a shame that the sport's turned into that way because, again, it's not like there's other promotions that are, that like crazy good to watch. One has their stuff going on, but that's, I like watching their cards mainly just because of how much they mix everything else in, not because it's just a straight MMA card. And it's not like PFL does anything entertaining at all, ever. And
Okay, I would not necessarily agree with that. PFL puts on some good fights.
I think, I mean, I
They're
don't
terrible
want
at
to say that.
promoting.
Yeah, okay, that was pretty harsh to me. I will admit that, but I do think though, like it's just a matter of like consistency and name value and stuff. And I guess to like your point again, Gene, like what you kind of said, like I know when I'm watching good MMA, when I'm watching bad MMA, I just feel like a lot of times when I'm tuning into PFL, like I can just see that level sometimes, like and and the main event fights and stuff like that, like for sure, like that's there, but. I think when you just look at the depth of like, I'd much rather go back and watch a UFC fight or a UFC card because of the depth of skill that those guys have compared to usually what a PFL card carries and their cards.
I mean, yeah, I feel like honestly, depth wise, I feel like PFL is a little better because they're not putting on as many shows, and that's the UFC, they put on too many shows, and then you've got you've yeah. It's like one of my. I didn't mention this earlier, but like Costello Vancinas and Johnny Eblen fought this or last year, and Johnny Eblen was winning the entire time, middleweight champion, and then got choked out. Was one of the best comebacks of the year, and then people don't talk about it. Ryzen is doing great things. One championship. I'm not sure how they're still in business because they put on cards, and it's when you watch too, it's like the it's so noticeable. Their arena is so dark.
Mhm.
Yeah, but every year they get money from investors or shareholders or whatever. So
The mob. The big old mob over there.
also, Wild and KSW are great too. It's just
Yeah. No, I mean, and I definitely agree that like not every place puts on terrible fights consistently and stuff like that. I think it's just I find more consistent moments with the UFC compared to other promotions.
the problem with UFC is people. I made a video about how I was pissed off that the UFC was headlining a card with Randy Brown and Gabriel Bonfim. And everybody was like, "This is a great fight. What do you mean?" I'm like, "This is a headliner. This is a good fight, but it's a headliner."
Yeah.
And the drop off, like, I get called a casual all the time, when I make stuff and talk fights, and it's like you're really actually happy about this, like, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I get that, but and I think like to your point with the amount of schedules and stuff like that, or the amount of events they put on, I feel like the PFL, like again, like I think if the PFL were to put on that same amount of events and stuff like that, that's what I'm saying. Like the product for the UFC would be still better, in my opinion, just because they'd be putting on, I feel like even worse headliners and stuff like that, and not as deep as of cards, anyways, just because of the whole roster that they have compared to the UFC and stuff. But no, I mean for sure, there's great moments outside of the UFC. There's no way there wouldn't be. Otherwise, it would just be nothing but UFC, and that would actually kind of suck. That would not be fun. But is there anything else that you guys would like to add before we wrap it up?
Oh, I think we covered a lot tonight. I'm looking forward to the fights to start kicking back off. It sucks that the first fight of this Paramount deal is starting to kind of fall apart, but I think it'll still be fun.
Yeah, 100% agree.
Last thing I'm going to say is I really hope Conor McGregor headlines the UFC White House card.
I hope he doesn't. Jesus.
because that would just put a cherry on top of all the garbage we've gotten for the last 6 years.
Yeah.
And why not? Dana White says, "I don't want Conor versus Michael Chandler." Like, why are you saying this now? Like,
they're still using his face to promote this Paramount deal. Like, this brother hasn't fought since how long?
2021.
And they're still using his face to sell the UFC.
As a UFC fighter, he's great. Don't look at any of the off the field stuff. So it kind of makes sense because most people ignore that stuff. So
he hasn't been a great UFC fighter since what, 2018?
16? Nah, 2016. That's when he beat Alvarez.
Yeah.
And then took a year off, fought Mayweather, which I still don't understand to this day why they gave that to him.
Yeah.
Comes back, gets destroyed by Khabib, drinking whiskey at a press conference.
Yeah, and he hasn't been
And then Cerrone
shit since.
Cerrone was a ghost of himself.
Oh yeah, fucking classic Donald Cerrone quitting anytime there's a big moment.
Yeah, no.
I'm a Donald Cerrone fan, dude.
They had to have paid him off.
I think Cerrone's just one of those guys who just falls under the pressure. I mean, it happens. You know, some of those guys just legit just can't handle that big of a spotlight, and that was a huge spotlight for McGregor to come back after Habib and I mean, especially with the history that they kind of had with Conor saying that he looks like a stick in the mud. But I don't know, man. That was I was kind of disappointing to see it end that quickly, but at the same time, it was kind of cool to see McGregor come back and win it that way. But yeah, I wish Donald kind of showed up for that one.
Yeah, no, it seemed like one of those. It seemed like it was a fucking rigged fight. Just how it ended. I thought it was gonna be
I mean,
exciting.
if you've ever seen Donald Cerrone in any big moment in his life, you know it's not rigged. He's a garbage can, honestly.
Yeah, it just
Hey,
kind of
he's
falls
coming
into
back,
it.
dude. He's coming back.
Dude, I don't know how they're allowing these fighters to come back after this much time. I mean, because it's not like that dude wasn't
Juicing.
juicing. Yeah, like she was like obvious as shit. It was just like, come on, dude. Like I don't know how that's allowed, but I guess we'll see even if he does come back. I don't think he will. I think it's just one of those things that he's just talking about it, and they'll enter the testing pool and all that shit. But like, I don't think that he'll actually end up fighting again.
That was announced like a year ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, but he had to go through, I think, a year of testing or 6 months or something because he did admit he was juicing, so they made him.
See, like that's the thing. I feel like after all that time off, after all that time not juicing, he's gonna realize, oh fuck, this is what I feel like not juicing again. No wonder why I retired.
Well, also, you're gonna go through all that testing and do all these loops just to do one last fight, because you need that fix.
Yeah, like come on, you had your chance against Jim Miller, dude. Like, come on, what are we doing? Time to wrap
I'm
it
Yeah.
not
up.
going to believe that a guy that lost to Nico Price, which, yeah, no contest, and Alex Morono was going to come back and like do anything.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, he should have beaten Price. He should have beaten Moreno. Should have beaten Miller. I mean, and if he wasn't beating those guys, no disrespect to Jim Miller. Jim Miller's still kind of killing it, but it's
I don't
just
mind the Jim Miller loss.
that's what I'm saying. Like Jim Miller was kind of like on a roll. I guess until the Bobby Green fight, like he was legit winning damn near everything.
Yeah, don't get me started on that fight. Bobby Green sucks.
Yeah, I don't. I was surprised Jim lost that bad to Bobby, but yeah, it was just kind of weird. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of tired of these
Last
fighters.
thing on Connor. That was kind of when they started the whole like slop card because that card was actually horrible.
Terrible.
But yeah, I actually remember like watching it like it's like a core memory. And it sold a bunch of pay-per-views, and we had Holly Holm versus Raquel Pennington, Alexi Olenek versus Maurice Green, Brian Kelleher versus Odie Osborne, Carlos Diego Ferreira versus Anthony Pettis. Just
Macy Barber
the
was on
shit.
that with Roxanne, right?
Yeah, and she got her shit pushed in.
Yeah, she had her fucking knee blown out. I was like, what the fuck, man? Yeah, that was a terrible name value card for sure. But that is what it is. It's not like we weren't used to it, or we aren't used to it now.
Fortunately.
But all right, fellas. Well, if there's nothing else to wrap up on, then say it was a good episode. Thank you all for tuning in. Definitely go give Gene a follow on TikTok. We'll have his at and all that linked in the bio and also on the screen. But thanks for tuning in. Gene, thanks again for joining us. We always love having you.
It was good to catch you this time, man. It was fun. We'll have to do it again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to do it next Friday if you guys are willing. So.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, man.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I
That
mean,
should be
because
good.
we'll have the first Paramount numbered card going for that, and we can definitely break down a bunch of the fights on there and kind of talk about what could be next for each of those fights. I think that'd be a good episode too. So let's definitely shoot for that. We'll have you on next week. We'll three-way this shit
Let's do
again.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'll never turn down a opportunity to talk shit about Patty Pimblett. So
Yeah, fair enough.
garbage man.
Hey, and then maybe we'll do another little fight companion for this fight.
Yeah, definitely doing a watch party for this this upcoming fight for sure. Um, definitely, we have a couple things coming up this week. Actually, we have Catching a Vibe coming up. Just a little breakdown of the main card, and then I got some stuff coming up on TikTok. And yeah, so that's about it. But Gene, any last words?
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. I fucking love this guy. God damn it. All right, man. Well, again, I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all listening and watching. And we will catch y'all on the next one. See ya.